We have our can, we have our domain, and we have our water source. Those are the only things you need for this animation. Now, for the domain, in the physics tab, we have the fluid modifier selected. It's of type domain. The settings, the resolution divisions are 64. You can increase that if you want a higher resolution render, but keep in mind it'll increase your bake times. The other thing is border collisions. This is the bounds of your domain. You just need to know what you need it to look like in your animation. For this one, I only had it collide with the bottom. But keep in mind, the size of your domain is the end of your animation. The size of your domain to be outside the field of view of the camera. So make sure you have your camera set up where you want it from the beginning. Make sure you check the mesh box, because this is how it creates that water mesh. And then make sure you set your start frame and end frame appropriately, because that's how long it's going to bake for. You want it to bake for as little as possible, so it's as fast as possible. So that's how you set up your domain. For your water source or for your emitter, this is just a simple sphere that I entered into the scene. I select the fluid for this. The type is flow, the flow type is liquid, the flow behavior is geometry, and then I checked the initial velocity and set it at 25. Now, one of the things to note is, depending on the size of your render, you may need to increase or decrease this. It's the size of your render that's going to determine how much initial velocity is needed. A smaller render will need less, a larger render will need more. So just keep that in mind. And then for the can, this is again the physics. We added the fluid to it. It's the type effector, and then it is a type collision, so that the fluid will collide with it. The other thing I'll note is that for the water source, I have it checked as visible in the viewport, but it is not visible in the render, because I don't want that shown in the render. But that's basically it. That's all you need to kind of create this little water animation. The rest of it is just trial and error, kind of going through everything.